Hi, Mr. Andrew here, and today we're just working a couple equations with integers. So here they're equations because they have an equal sign, and they're saying two expressions equal to each other, and we'll want to solve for the variable. Here, because it's with integers, we can have negative numbers now instead of just our whole numbers. We can have their opposites now. So here, I look and I see on this side, and sides are divided by equal signs, that 3x minus 4x, well 3 minus 4 is negative 1. And they are x's. And I drop my equal sign down. Negative 5 plus 3, well that's a negative 2. We can either use our number lines or we can use our rules. And a negative number added to a positive number, well I'm going to see which one has more. There are more negatives than positives. There are 5 negatives and 3 positives. So when I put them together, I'll subtract 5 minus 3. I subtract their magnitudes, but then I apply the sign of the one that had more. So in this case, the negative 5 sign gets carried along with it. So this is negative 2. Now here, this would be okay if it was 1x or just an x, because technically I don't show one coefficients. But here I have a negative x, or a negative 1x. So I have to divide off that negative 1. And technically, I could also multiply by a negative 1, so if you hear that in class or in another video, that is perfectly acceptable as well. Dividing by negative 1 only changes the sign. So here, this becomes a positive x, which is what we want, and because I do that to one side, I have to do that to the other. And this is negative 2 divided by negative 1, which is a positive 2. Now here is a simple problem, although it doesn't look it. We'll have to use the same techniques we used in the last problem. Here we have 5x minus 4x all on one side, so I can combine like terms. 5 minus 4 is 1, so I just put an x because I don't have to show that coefficient of 1. In the prior problem, I showed a negative 1 to help us understand that we have a negative sign there and to help identify what we'll have to change it with. But in this case, we're just left with a plain old x, which is what we want. Now here, 3 minus 4, if I think about 3 and go back 4, I go into the negative range, negative 1. If I want to think about with our rules, I can say there are more negatives than positives. There are 4 negatives and 3 positives, so I will have 1 negative left over. And that's all. Thank you for watching.